Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of Favorite Live Album by Year. We are finishing up the month of September. We are now at the 21st, so got like 9 days left, and we have arrived at 1988. And a pretty good year, actually, for live albums. Again, more of the kind of archival stuff, but plenty of them, and a couple of good, new ones that came out at the time. So my favorite, though, is an archival one, and it's a really, really good one. So it was released officially October 25th, 1988, recorded at, Kulttuuritalo, Helsinki in Finland. I'm sure I butchered that big time. Between September 22nd and 23rd, 1974. Released on the Rio Disc label. Of course, I'm talking about Frank Zappa's You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore, Volume 2, the Helsinki Concert. Or actually, probably should say the Helsinki Concerts, right? Because we are talking about two gigs, right? 2 nights there, and this is like the best of, but it's always been labeled the Helsinki Concert. This, of course, is the formidable band from 1974 featuring Frank Zappa on lead vocals and guitars, Napoleon Murphy Brock, saxophone, flute, and vocals, George Duke, keyboards and vocals, Ruth Underwood on percussion, the vibes and all that kind of stuff, Tom Fowler on bass guitar, and Chester Thompson on drums. Just an amazing, amazing lineup. They would actually go and kind of expand this lineup over the next year or two. But this is, arguably one of Zappa's best configurations ever. And such great, great songs on here. It starts off with Tush, 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 A Token of My Extreme. You've got a beastly version of Stinkfoot, a 11-minute Inca Roads, including some fantastic playing from Ruth and Frank on that. You got Redunzel, supercharged, a lot of smoking guitar solos on that. Village of the Sun, very playful. Echidna's Arf of You. Don't You Ever Wash That Thing, getting funky. Pygmy Twilight, getting funky, getting heavy. You got Room Service, The Idiot Bastard Son, and of course, rounding out disc 1, Cheapness. Right over on disc 2, you got Approximate, Dupree's Paradise, 24 minutes long. All sorts of zaniness going on in that. You got, what else we got? The Finnish Tango, we got Tamershi Duween, the Dog Breath Variations, a bunch of shorter tracks on the second disc. Uncle Meat, Building a Girl, Montana, which segues into Whipping Post, about almost 11 minutes long, and then Big Swifty. I'd say most of the epic stuff, other than, of course, Dupree's Paradise, is on disc 1. Disc 2 is that big, long, epic, and a bunch of shorter tracks. But a lot of great jamming on here, musicianship, and some just unbelievable ensemble playing across the board. This is, Frank and his band at their kind of like jazz fusion, avant-garde, rock best. Just amazing stuff. Long been one of my favorite live Frank Zappa albums, among many of them, right? You got In New York, you got the Roxy, just so many great live albums, many of which will hopefully be coming in this series here, because there are some good ones coming up. So that is my winner for today. My runner-up is a prog rock live album. This is not really known for the era of prog rock live albums, but one of the bands that was actually carrying the torch for prog through much of the 80s released this album on November 29th, 1988, recorded various shows, 1986, 87, and 84, released on EMI in Great Britain and the UK, Capitol Records here in the States. The Thieving Magpie by Marillion, otherwise known as La Gaza Ladra. Killer stuff. This is quite good. This is basically pretty much signals the end of the Fish era, right? So this is after Clutching at Straws, comprised of live stuff from throughout their years together, that particular lineup. And it's quite good. Of course, we got Fish on lead vocals. We got Ian Mosley on drums. We got Stephen Rothery on guitar. Mark Kelly on keyboards. And, drawing a complete blank. What the hell is this? Forgive me, my friend. Forgive me. This is what happens when you get the olds, right? Pete Trewavas. How could I forget Pete Trewavas' name? Jesus, man. Anyway, it happens when you're trying to, when you're doing this sort of thing and you're always trying to remember dates and songs and album titles and band members. Sometimes the mind, especially when you got the olds like I do, the mind just freezes up and says, yeah, him, yes. Eventually you get to it. In some instances you have to go and check out your notes because you just you got the olds. Sometimes when you got the olds, man, that answer just ain't coming. Ain't coming at all. But anyway, back to the album. A great album. Really, really good interpretations of these classic songs from Marillion from the first era of the band. A lot of people have always said over that how well these versions sound compared to the studio version. Studio version is very, dark and moody and atmospheric and at times rocking, but totally progressive. That early Marillion feel, owing a lot to early Genesis, that whole sort of thing. But just really good recordings. They obviously took some of the best recordings from those couple of tours and put them on this album. We've got, the intro, La Gaza Ladra, Slanchmath, He Knows You Know, Chelsea Monday, Pseudo Silk Kimono, Kaylee, Lavender Blue, Bittersweet, Heart of Lothian. That's on side 1, side 2 of the original album. Side 3, you got Jigsaw, Punch, 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 Judah, Punch, 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 and Judah, a wonderful Sugar Mice, a dark and awesome Fugazi. You got Script for a Jester's Tear, one of my favorite songs from the band. Awesome on here. A big, bright, upbeat Incommunicado, and of course, finishing it all off with White Lushan. Right, so just really good stuff, and I think that the CD basically totally turns it around a little bit, but also more importantly, on the CD version, you get an entire Misplaced Childhood on the second disc. So basically how it works on the CD, for those of you who have never had the CD, only had the LP back in the day, you've got CD 1, you've got La Gaza Ladra, Slanchmath, He Knows You Know, Chelsea Monday, Freaks, okay, so some extra stuff on the CD, Jigsaw, Punch and Judy, Sugar Mice, Fugazi, Script, Incommunicado, and White Russian. Then on CD 2, you've got Pseudo Silk Kimono, Kaylee, Lavender, Bittersweet, Heart of Lothian, Waterhall, Espresso Bongo, Lords of the Backstage, Blind Curve, Childhood's End, and White Feather, right? So actually, the CD is probably the ultimate version of this particular show because you get the entire, the whole shebang of Misplaced Childhood plus a couple extra tracks on disc 1. So very cool. Love how the CD kind of opened up to a poster and stuff, which is really neat because I always loved this painting. Really, really cool stuff. So, that's Mr. Fish back when he still had hair, right? And a good amount of it. Well, so to speak. He would go for a little bit more of the ball look not too long afterwards, but anyway, there you have it. Those are my picks for today. We've got Frank Zappa, You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore, Volume 2, the Helsinki Concerts, and the Thieving Magpie from Marillion, 2 killer live albums from 1988. Pretty good. Like I said, there were some other ones that I really liked a lot that I just kind of had to overlook for these two, but these two are easily my favorites out of all of them. So thanks for watching, everybody. Tune in tomorrow for 1989 as we get set to move into the 90s for the last few days of this particular series, and then we move on into October where it's going to be all about spooky sounds. I'm going to be going through my collection and picking out those albums that are probably a perfect listen for the month of October, which is Halloween month here in the U.S. I know some of you who don't live in North America probably never understood our fascination with Halloween and October being, the month for spooky things like movies and music and all that sort of thing. But we're into it here. What can I tell you? Especially me, and I do that all year round. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be picking out 31 albums throughout the month of October that, to me, have that kind of ominous, spooky, menacing feel. Could be prog rock, could be jazz, could be metal, could be hard rock, anything. But it's got to have somewhat of a, whether the lyrics are spooky and creepy or horrific, or the music is menacing and all that sort of thing. But it just kind of feels right talking about them and playing them in October, celebrating Halloween. So that's coming up starting on the 1st of October, so stay tuned for that each and every day. Just a little quick, programming update. So what do we got? Tonight we've got In the Prog Seat. We've got the crew. Everybody's got their list ready. We are going to divulge some of our favorite top 5 Prog and Fusion releases from 1974. Man, what a good year. Very tough. Very, very tough. Tomorrow is What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility Day. I've got a few new releases to talk about tomorrow. I hope to get to at least 3 or 4 of them. That's happening tomorrow. Thursday, we've got The Monsters Den. Chris Allo, Rich Catino, and myself are going to be talking about our favorite TV horror films. Okay, those films that were made for TV, right? And we got to watch them on CBS or NBC or ABC back mainly in the 70s and in the early 80s. Those are generally when those TV horror films came out. And then Friday morning at the Funhouse, Martin Popoff and I will be doing part 2 of our look at the hired guns. Those musical hired guns, those musicians who kind of showed up everywhere and anywhere but didn't stick around for too long. So Martin's going to be tackling bass players on Friday. I will be tackling singers. And then on Sunday, we've got album homework assignment. We have Rich Catino facing off against Jamie Laszlo. So that's coming up. They've had their assignments. They are ready to go. So stay tuned for that on Sunday. And a lot more happening here on the channel. Just wanted to let everybody know that there will be a week in October where I'm actually going away on vacation. Can you believe it? Yeah. The wife and I are going away for a week, but I will do my best to kind of pre-record programming for that week so you guys get stuff throughout the week. So as far as like the October daily Spooky Sounds show, I will be recording ahead of time so you'll have them pre-set up on the channel in premiere mode. So every morning you'll get those and you can watch those. As far as like Hudson Valley Squares and In the Prague Seat, I'm going to do my best, and the same thing with The Monsters Den. I'm going to do my best to record some of those episodes the week prior as much as I can get to. It's going to be a busy week, obviously. So there might be a little lack of programming that week while I'm away, but you know what? I deserve it. It's been quite a while since we went away on vacation anywhere. So, but I'll get you as much as I can, so at least you have that stuff there to watch all week. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell. Dong! So you get notified every time we post some new content. You don't want to miss anything here if you are a subscriber or if you're not a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber and you watch this channel, I mean, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button, guys. Do it. Do it. We have, just so you know, because I get all the analytics, we probably have like 3 or 4 times as many people who come here every month. Actually, it's a lot more than that. Who come here, watch content every month, but never subscribe. I mean, the amount of subscribers compared to the amount of people who come to the channel, it's like night and day. So, I know that our loyal everyday viewers have subscribed, but there's a lot of people who come here fairly regularly and just never click that subscribe button. So that does help. Clicking the subscribe button, clicking the like video, all those things really, really help us as far as, YouTube, showing our videos around in the algorithm and all that sort of thing. So the more views, the better. That's what we go by here, views. Well, the subscribers are nice. They are, trust me. It's really the views that count, but the subscribers drive the views and drive the algorithm, all that sort of thing. So also, if you want to make a donation to the channel, we've got the link to our Ko-Fi page below. We also have the link to the Sea of Tranquility merch site with all sorts of great stuff for sale. T-shirts and hoodies and hats and caps and stickers and coffee mugs, all sorts of different varieties. If you haven't gone to the link below to check out all the stuff we have available, we've got so many shirts, including this great new one here. Okay, play it fast, play it loud for all of you more metal fans here on the channel. We've got all sorts of different Prague variations. We've got Hudson Valley Square shirts. We've got In the Prague Seat shirts. We've got, all sorts of stuff. So go check it all out, and we'll see you real soon here on the channel. Thanks for watching. I am Pete Pardo. See you again here on YouTube all the damn time. Take care. Bye-bye.